back at that appointed time, there is something that has been bothering me, and I'm perplexed by it. The question is, those that are mockers and scoffers, those that are righteous, that call themselves righteous, but yet you call out people for what's being shown to them. Or they may not know the Bible verbatim, just as well as I don't know the Bible verbatim. I don't memorize the Bible because I have a disability. But I ask you a question. When this Spirit returns, when this Holy Spirit returns, do you actually believe this being is going to be quoting scriptures? Ask yourself that. Because in the time of Moses, it was Moses' time. But in the time of Yeshua, it was Yeshua's time. So Yeshua came to change how things were during Moses' time, because this was not the way to live. Confirmation. So if Yeshua came back to change the way the people were living at that time, what makes you think that Yeshua's not going to come back this time and change the way things are? And I'm going to tell you why I believe it will not be the same. Because you cannot evolve by staying in the past or staying behind for something that happened a long time ago. You don't evolve that way. These people were stoning people to death. There are many gods in the Bible as it speaks. So the God that Yeshua was here for, or Yeshua's father, is not the same being as Moses, as the same being that Moses was serving and Yeshua serves are two different beings. Because I think it was the Philistines that Jesus or Yeshua was saying that you don't serve my father, you serve your father, the devil. What I'm saying is do you really believe when the Holy Spirit come back that it's really going to be about when he was here? It's not. This is not how it's going to be. So those that run around mocking and scoffing, plagiarizing and basically tearing down other beings. This is blasphemy, because you are blowing a trumpet on your fellow man, or your fellow righteous man. So where is it that in your head that this is right? You all are clowning Joshua because of something he's seen. For a meek being do not go around bashing other people or saying what they've seen or what's being told to them is false, or call them a liar. This is not the way. For those that do not know how to love and forgive, this is the message. This is the message that Yeshua was teaching, was love and forgiveness. You do not know how to do these two things. You don't belong in this. You don't belong in the Holy Spirit's house. But if you think this man's going to come back and quote something that is being said in the Bible, you're sadly mistaken, because the man didn't write not one word in the Bible. And the Bible was written 70 years after he's passed. So he written not one word in that Bible. Sure, there was scholars, but so was he. There were people that were prophets. There were people that were seers. Of course. But what I'm telling you is that you're going off an old paradigm. And this paradigm will not stand when the Holy Spirit come back. And the reason why I know that is because new heaven, new earth. So therefore, there is no room for what you are speaking in those books. Because you are supposed to forgive and let live. Let live. You are to live. Be fruitful, not be fruitful in that way, but be joyous among each other. Live in happiness, not suffering, not pain, not anguish, not anger, not resentment. You're to live as one being, as a unity. You show each other faithfulness, kindness, love, compassion. These are the things that Yeshua taught. That's what it's going to be about when Yeshua comes back. When the Holy Spirit comes back. But the Holy Spirit is already back. You just don't see it yet. The Holy Spirit was born back on the earth April 8, 2024. The Spirit was born back on the earth at this time, on the day of the full eclipse in America. So all of this that you guys are doing, this bickering, this is the devil's game. Who's right and who's wrong? You're playing the devil's game, going against each other instead of getting along as what was told. How are you following Yeshua's teachings if you're not doing those things? Tearing someone else down, that's not meek. That's not the Holy Spirit. That's not righteous. That's not faithful. That's not faithfulness. That's blasphemous. New heaven and new earth is a clean slate. So I'm going to give you a scenario. You go trying to quote old scriptures to the Spirit, and the Spirit turns around, and the Spirit turns around and stops you in your tracks and says, not now, or this is a new time. This is a new way of living. Out with the old, in with the new. I don't know how you all feel being in the past, in someone else's past. It's supposed to bring you closer to the Holy Spirit when you're not doing the number one thing, and that's loving your righteous brother and sister, while you're too busy playing the devil's game and tearing each other down. All this you're doing is going to be irrelevant when the Holy Spirit returns. It's going to be irrelevant. I could not sleep because of this. Well, I slept, but when I woke up this morning, I'm up at 5:30. And the first thing came to my subconscious is when this man was Nigerian or African or whatever he is, was tearing down Joshua. This is not righteousness. This is not faithfulness to your righteous brothers and sisters. This is not upright. So I got up this morning, I did a video. Just so I wouldn't lose what I spoke of. But Yeshua will not be quoting old scriptures, something that he didn't even write. The man was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. And why do you think they've written it 70 years after he's already gone? Because his message was simple. was love each other and learn how to forgive, live in harmony, and be faithful to each other. Walk in faith. Stand upright. Don't walk on all fours. But yet, you all do the opposite. And you're squawking about something that no longer is of importance. Because it's going to change again. The paradigm shift is going to change again. It has to. For the new heaven and new earth, this is irrelevant. It's really irrelevant. Sure, it's a good read. Sure, if you're in there as reincarnation, you read, you're here. But what you guys are doing is just doesn't make any sense. You're playing the devil's game. They said there's a saying that the devil can quote the Bible as well. But what if the devil can't quote something that hasn't been spoken or written? You ever thought about that? The devil doesn't know what you're thinking unless you speak it. So if it's not spoken, the devil has no idea. But these words are spoken, so the devil can use them at his advantage, but also create war amongst each other. Well, you people don't see it like that. You people don't see it. Because why? Yeah, there is another person in there that's many gods that are in there, and one of them is causing chaos and anarchy, causing wars against your fellow brethren and sisterin. Help me understand why this bickering means anything. Because I don't think it's right to tear someone else down, to put yourself up higher. When you tear down your brother and sister, that's not a meek being. That's not a being that's walking upright. That's not a righteous being. That's not a faithful being. You are doing the exact opposite of the teachings of Yeshua. And I can explain to you why I know that, but I don't have the time for that. But Yeshua will tell you, depart from me. I don't know you. Because why? You tearing down your brothering. You're tearing down the very being that is righteous. And righteous in his own right, and how he presents what's been shown to him. Depart from me, I never knew you. Because a meek being is timid. It said the meek shall inherit the earth. How is a wolf going to inherit the earth? How is a beast going to inherit the earth? If they're busy growling and yelling out and howling, at everyone that says something different from what they believe or what they've seen. You don't inherit the earth. You're not meek. Meek means a sheep, a lamb, someone who's timid. You guys running around here like beast, tearing your brother and sister down. How is that? How does that fit right? That's not the teachings of Yeshua. That's the teachings of the devil. Go in and kill every man, woman, and child. Spare no one. That's the work of the devil. Because Yeshua came and said, death is not the answer. That's not what my Father taught me. Taking a life is not what's being taught. I don't know what the verbatim is on what it said, but about the prostitute. For anyone that casts a stone that has not sinned, I don't know it verbatim, but you know what I'm saying. Because they wanted to stone the prostitute to death. But that's not what Yeshua was taught. Not by the Holy Spirit. So think about that. What do you think is going to happen when the Holy Spirit come back? You actually believe the Holy Spirit's going to be on some old paradigm? You people need to wake up, because you're sleepwalking in an old paradigm shift instead of doing what's right, and that's being righteous, upright, and faithful to your fellow man and your fellow woman. Because if you're tearing them down, that's not being faithful. That's being beastly-like. That's not faithfulness. That's not righteous. And that's not upright. I'm going to leave it here till the next appointed time. The one